And now it is my pleasure and honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Randy Hain. A little bit about Randy. He and I have known each other for probably 20 years now. He has had a beautiful career, personal and faith journey in that time. Randy is a mentor to so many people, myself included, and he is one of the most authentic and genuine people I've ever known. Somebody who's continually reflecting on his life and how he can better help those he works with. Randy is the founder and president of Serving Partners and the co-founder of Leadership Foundry. With a successful 30-plus year career in senior leadership roles, corporate talent, and executive search, he is a highly sought-after executive coach for senior leaders across the entire country. Most importantly, Randy's a husband, father, and an active community leader. He serves on the board of many causes he cares about. He's also the award-winning author of 9 books. I won't read them all to you, but you can jump on Amazon and find any of them. I've read them. They are fantastic books, easy reads, and great insights. More than anything for us tonight, Randy is really devout to his faith in God and all that he does. It is something that he has in common with all of our Good Samaritans here tonight. I hope that you enjoy his message.
Thank you, Amelia, for the kind introduction, and thank you to all the Good Samaritans who have made an impact over the past year and beyond in your churches and your communities. We celebrate you tonight. I am humbled to speak with you and hope you will find inspiration and perhaps validation for your own noble efforts in the 2 parts of the talk that I'm about to share. First, I'd like to talk to you about regular heroes. I saw a reference in a blog post I received from a friend a few weeks ago to something called the ministry of obscurity. I find this idea of a ministry of obscurity to be quite profound if you apply that label to the millions of people around the world laboring every day to do good in their communities, being good to others, raising their families, loving their neighbors, sharing their faith with others, caring for the sick, the poor, the neglected, protecting us from harm, and leading virtuous lives, all in relative obscurity and seeking no recognition for their noble efforts. They are beacons of light, just as all of you are, in an increasingly angry and polarized world. Thinking about them gives me hope. Through the countless conversations I have with others in my community and professional network, it's obvious that many of us feel let down and frustrated by politicians and public figures who espouse the right things, but whose actions don't align with their words. Perhaps we're looking in the wrong places. Maybe for too long, we have placed the wrong people on pedestals. It's entirely possible that we need look no further than our own families, workplaces, churches, and communities for regular heroes to inspire us with their good examples. Regular heroes are all around, but we may fail to notice them as it's easy to overlook the hardworking, virtuous, and the generous among us. We may not always observe their good work because they go about doing the right things in often quiet ways, avoiding the spotlight whenever possible. They care more about doing good than getting the credit. When they are not working, they are likely spending quality time with their loved ones, serving others in the community, or investing in those they mentor. They provide a powerful witness in the simplest of actions. Over the past few weeks, since I began pondering the idea of the ministry of obscurity that I referenced earlier, I encountered 3 people who I had the good fortune to see, maybe for the first time, as regular heroes quietly serving in this ministry. I have known who they are for years, but I was struck recently by how each of them are such good role models for me and others who know them. Let's begin with Tom. Tom is a successful senior executive devoted to his church and his family, who selflessly gives his time to a local homeless shelter each month and organizes his church community to support it. He is a quiet and humble man who can always be counted on when you need help, and he coaches his daughter's soccer team for good measure. Second, I'd like to tell you about Allison. She's a talented mid-level manager with a well-known consulting company who quietly devotes as much time as possible to helping job seekers and mentoring other young professionals. She juggles all of this as a newlywed with the demands of a hectic job and has recruited her husband to help. Finally, there is Sandy, the grandmother of a young man on the autism spectrum. Sandy started a nonprofit to help amazing young people like her grandson learn to communicate more effectively through improv and theater classes adapted to their style of learning. Her nonprofit has helped hundreds of people on the autism spectrum, and she is an inspiration to all who know her. There was a need that was not being addressed in the autism community, and she took it upon herself to tackle it. Regular heroes like these individuals and others we all likely know are often humble, selfless, and focused on how they can serve others. They are not necessarily trying to change the world, but instead focus on helping one person at a time. What are some other ways that we can recognize these regular heroes? They are joyful and peaceful, which naturally draws others to them. They typically live authentic and courageous lives, which do not change to suit their companions or in the face of life's challenges. They have a generous spirit, and when engaging with others, it is always about you and not about them. They see it as a privilege to do any task necessary to render a service to others. The folks I know who fit this category see their service to others as a duty and responsibility which they are happy to carry out. And finally, their good work transcends and is disinterested in politics and cultural whims. Doing the right thing for anyone in need is all that matters to them. These regular heroes don't care who gets the credit, and they pursue eulogy virtue versus resume virtue, as described by author David Brooks in his book, The Road to Character. Both types of virtues are important and worth pursuing and refining, but only eulogy virtues have any lasting value and legacy. For them, it's not about the glory or their fame of their lifetimes. It's really about just a wonderful way to live and having people talk about you when you're gone. I shared 3 examples of regular heroes laboring in the ministry of obscurity who grabbed my attention when I stopped seeking inspiration from those in the public arena and began looking at my own backyard and the people I encounter in my daily life. There are so many examples I could also have cited, like the single mom working 2 jobs to support her young family, to the foster parents who routinely take in and help troubled teens, to the teenager who organizes his friends to pick up trash on weekends to protect the environment and beautify his community. Who are the regular heroes in your world? What valuable lessons can you learn from them? We should seek them out, share our sincere gratitude, and hopefully follow their great example. I know I am truly grateful to all who make the world a better place in your own quiet ways, especially you who are being honored here tonight. So as we reflect on this idea of regular heroes, I'd like to end with a brief story about a very special man, a regular hero that I know very, very well, and the amazing life he has led. As I describe his life, I would like to ask you to imagine a tiled mosaic. I want you to picture maybe a beautiful mosaic that you've seen in the past. You know, when we think of a mosaic, we usually think of tiles of glass or stone that have been formed into a beautiful image by the artist. I was reflecting recently about my dad, Steve, and the wonderful mosaic he has created in his 84 years as a father, husband, friend, and servant of his community. The tiles of his life are represented by the countless acts of kindness he has performed, the sacrifices he has made always for his family, and the lifetime of service he has rendered his church and his community. It's obvious to all who know him that selfless love and a generous spirit are at the heart of all these deeds. Like all of us, he has made mistakes along the way, but the mosaic of his life is something beautiful to reflect on and aspire to emulate. I think of the exemplary life of my dear departed mother in much the same way. I'd like to challenge all of us to thoughtfully consider what kind of life mosaic we will create today, this week, this year, and over the course of our lives. Will it be a beautiful work of art or something we will be ashamed for others to see? The tiles of our mosaic are made up of the interactions that we have with others, how we care for our families and loved ones, the relationships we build, the work we produce, the strength of our faith, and the service that we render to the community. The opportunities to make a difference and the decision points we have each day are almost endless. In these important moments, how will we show up? How will we act? Will the thought that we have the opportunity to create something special and beautiful even cross our minds? The quality of tiles that we contribute to our own mosaics will be dramatically affected by the love, selflessness, generosity, kindness, and gratitude we apply to their creation. My wish for all of us is that we use the imagery of the life mosaic to be more intentional and thoughtful about how we will show up and act today and every day. 50 years from now, I hope the picture we have assembled is beautiful, breathtaking, and inspiring to others, and not something that we stash in the basement like an unwanted Christmas gift. When I tell my dad about what I am sharing with you right now, he will rightly say that he is not done creating the mosaic of his life, and he's correct. He would also say to be patient and do the best you can every day to make progress towards a more meaningful life. I hope this artist, who is my father, will keep on inspiring me and the others who know him for years to come as he finishes his masterpiece. I hope to follow in his footsteps in some small way and inspire my children and future grandchildren to do the same. I want to thank all of you for inspiring me and countless others with the beautiful mosaic you have created through your servant leadership and the love and care that you selflessly give to others. Each of you makes the world a better place.